Well, the big question, as you can see there, the headline on the latest news banner there is, do we have a rivalry with Manchester United? According to the Manchester United fans, we don't, because we're just a small town club in Newcastle, and we are a minority compared to Manchester United. We, on the other hand, as Newcastle fans, would say very different. Yes, we do, because of the way we feel about Manchester United, the way they act about Newcastle United, etc. We've also got Eddie Howe's press conference. He has spoken to the media ahead of tomorrow's huge game at the London Stadium against West Ham. So let's dive right in. This is the Daily News. Hi everybody and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel for the Daily News. Just a quick one, if you do like today's video, please do stick a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. Come and join this community on the way to 18,000, not very far to go now. And with your help, we can get there very, very quickly. So let's start, before we go into the press conference, with the question there, do we have a rivalry with Manchester United? Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, yes, we do. I think we have a huge rivalry with Manchester United, but this isn't just from the last few seasons. This dates back to the Entertainers' times when they caught us in the league. You know, we beat them 5-0, etc. Alan Shearer turning them down to come to Newcastle, which all those years ago, Manchester United fans simply haven't forgotten. They make a point of it every time that we play them, that, you know, Shearer took us down, etc. And they sing about it all the time, despite it being 20 odd years ago, and they don't forget it. Now, if that's not part of a rivalry, then I don't know what is, because for me, the Man United fans are still very, very bitter about that, about what happened, and they see Newcastle United as a rival. Their fans will never admit to that, because they like to think, as we've seen on social media since the game on Sunday, that they class us as a minority club. They don't class us as up there with them or any of the big boys. Well, I'm sorry to say, Man United fans, that is not true. We are your rivals, and we're going to be your rivals for many, many seasons to come. In fact, maybe not even your rivals, because we'll be way above where you are. Quite frankly, the way that you've performed over the last few seasons, for me, you're not up with the big boys, and you never have been for a long time. We are now starting to get there. Are we there yet as a football club? Absolutely not. No, we've got a long way to go. But we are progressing in a very, very good way. And you Man United fans, you don't like it. You don't like that there's another player on the table now. You hate the thought of Newcastle United overtaking you and being the dominant force in the Premier League alongside the likes of Manchester City, etc. You know, Chelsea, yes, they're having a very bad season at the minute, but the money they've got behind them, I expect them, once they get a new manager sorted, to start climbing the league and be a force again next season. Liverpool, again, similar. You know, not the greatest of seasons for them, but for me, it's a one-off season, and they'll be back next season as well. You guys, I think, according to the media, you know, you're back, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's a load of bollocks. You know, we've said many times on the show before the Man United game that we haven't been impressed with Man United. You know, yes, they've won a few games, but when it comes down to the crunch in the league, they're not a force. They're not. And they've had a few very lucky results. For me, the Man United fans' reaction to losing the game on Sunday tells you everything that you need to know, that there is a rivalry there, and a big rivalry. You can tell the way they acted around Newcastle City Centre when they were there on Sunday afternoon, singing songs about Shearer and all that. They kind of get it out of the system. It's all there for you to see and listen to. And the fact that, you know, they have reacted the way they've got, the banter that everybody's been having on social media, they've took it to heart. They really have. They're not very happy at all. And that's all they've got. You know, they'll banter us with the Carabao Cup. Yeah, you beat us in the Carabao Cup final. That's all gone water under the bridge. We got 3 points after on Sunday. We absolutely battered yous on Sunday. And they hate it. They hate the fact that the Geordies were singing, "You've seen United, now fuck off home," and all of this. You know, they just do not like it. They think they're above everybody else. The Man United fans to be honest, think they're still the number one team in England, the number one team around the world. They're not. And quite frankly, the way that, the likes of Manchester City, they've got into the MLS with a partnership with New York. And then, of course, Chelsea's still big over there. Liverpool, huge in Asia, etc. And that's where Newcastle United are heading now. So Man United are getting caught up and overtaken very, very quickly. And they've got a long way to go before they even think about getting back to the elite that they were under Alex Ferguson. A long way to go. So let me know what you think in the comments, because I do class Manchester United as a rival. I do think there's a rivalry between the two clubs, despite what the Man United fans might say. We as Newcastle United fans absolutely despise Manchester United. They're up there with the Sunderlands of this world. There is no doubt about that. So for me, it's definite rivalry. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think there's a rivalry with Manchester United? Because I think most of you do, because of the hatred that you have, along with me, for Manchester United. Just hate everything about their football club, the way they go on off the field, the way they expect everything to go their way on the field. Just can't stand anything about that football club. And for me as a Newcastle fan, to now see us in the position that we are, rising above and overtaking Manchester United very, very quickly, and certainly in the next couple of years, their fans are absolutely crapping themselves, and I find it absolutely brilliant. Over the years, I was, saw what happened with the Entertainers when we were 12 points clear. It was devastating. And I think from, early 90s right through, we've had a rivalry with Man United. It's always a huge game when we play Manchester United. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Now, Eddie Howe has also been speaking to the media ahead of tomorrow night's huge game at the London Stadium. Of course, West Ham needing points desperately, down at the bottom end of the table. They are trying to get out of relegation trouble, so they've got a lot to play for. We also have a huge amount to play for. We know that we've got two tough games coming up in London. Obviously going to Brentford at the weekend, as well as playing on Wednesday night. Now, the team will be staying in London, not coming home. They've obviously got somewhere they can go and train. That's all sorted out, and they'll stay in London until after the Brentford game, which I think is a very, very good idea. Cuts down on the travelling, and it means they can focus on both games without worrying about, where they're, going home, coming back, and all that travel involved. So basically, the first thing Eddie said was, we love playing at home, and our results there have been good, but our results on the road have been pretty consistent as well. We're going to need to take points in this spell, so we know what's needed. Of course they know what's needed. And Sven Botman came out the other day and said that the whole squad wants Champions League football now, and it's there. It's in their hands now. We don't have to rely on anybody to get Champions League football this season. It's all in our hands, and Eddie and the guys, they know that, and that's why I think they'll be putting in performances and really blood, sweat and tears for the rest of the season, because that's exactly what we want. Now also, he did come out and say something fantastic about Newcastle United and Newcastle as a place. He said, the city and the club has really got under my skin. I definitely feel at home here in Newcastle, and I don't say that lightly. I feel at home in the area with the people, and I definitely feel at home at the football club. I think this is a very special place. And that's, for me, that's incredible for Eddie to say. And it's really heartwarming in a way, because I think Eddie, yes, Rafa, he got the fans, he got the city as well, but this guy really does put his heart and soul into the football club. He was born with all his life, and then now he's got a huge opportunity to become an absolute legend at Newcastle. He's got an opportunity to win trophies that wasn't there the last 15 years. He's got the backing as well from the board, who absolutely adore him. Amanda Staveley's come out numerous times and said how much she loves Eddie Howe and what he's done for the football club. So it's all a big partnership there. You've got people working in the background, working on transfers and things like that, and bringing players in. You've got the youth setup now trying to improve. We know that the academy is something that needs a completely massive overhaul, because it hasn't been good for quite some time now. And I think that culminated in the kids losing, getting a hammering off Sunderland last week. It just makes you realise that there's still a long way to go in the academy as well. But we have people in place now. They're looking at more people to bring in over the summer from various Premier League clubs to bring in, new faces, to get transfers through the door and things like that. So really, the fact that Eddie has got the place, and we know that Amanda and Jamie Rubin and those and Man Utd, they've got it as well. And they've been hooked into this fantastic place that we call Newcastle. And they just love it. And now that Eddie, he's settled, his family are here, he's got everything he needs in the Northeast. He loves the people up here. He loves the way of life up here. And it's just fantastic that we have a manager that is on board with the whole thing. He's not just here for the money. He's not just here for a couple of seasons. He's here for the long term to really build this club back to where it belongs. Now, what he said on Alan St. Maximin, who of course was tremendous on Sunday, really saw the best of Maxi, getting the ball, driving at defenders. That's what we want to see every game from him. He said, I thought he gave a really good all-round performance on Sunday. He's a natural dribbler, everyone knows that, but his decision-making of when to dribble and when to pass was very good. He got an assist, so the end product was there. And defensively, he was diligent, so I'm delighted with him. And I think that's a big point that Eddie makes there. He's delighted with his defensive work as well, because if there's ever been a real issue with Maxi, it's always been his defensive work. Can he come back and help out his fullback? Well, I think he proved to everybody on Sunday that he can. There was a couple of times he actually ran the whole length of the pitch to get back and help out defensively. And I think that really appealed to Eddie Howe. So, he could have played somebody else there. Joe Linton could have come in. Elliot Anderson, who came on against Nottingham Forest and had a wonderful second half. But he stuck with Maxi and he believed in him. And Maxi repaid that faith by having a tremendous game. Getting the assist, could have had a couple more assists in the game. Long may that continue. Let's see it again at the London Stadium if indeed Eddie decides to go that way tomorrow night. Now, on Callum Wilson, he said it's important for Callum that he scored. I saw him during the international break put in a really good shift to get back to his best condition. He trained really well, so I had no hesitation in backing him and knowing the goals will come. Now, obviously, decisions have to be made here because we've got 3 games in a week. Does he rotate the side? I can't see any way on this earth that he drops Alexander Isak. I just can't see any way. This guy has... the last few games has been sensational. And yes, Callum scored against Manchester United, but for me, that doesn't guarantee him a start in the first 11 tomorrow night. I believe he'll go with Isak again. But if Callum's getting back to what we know Callum can do, then what an option he's got to bring him off the bench. And he can even go with the 2 of them. We know that. But he won't go 2 up top. Eddie's just not that type of manager. He will if we're losing the game or we need to get back into it, fair enough. But, from the off, that's not going to happen. But Callum getting that goal, it would have done him the world of good because we know he's struggled since Christmas. But the fact that Eddie's saying there that he's trained really well, because in the last few weeks, he hasn't even been training. So for the fact that he's back in training hard, training well, that can only bode well for Newcastle United. Now, for the remainder of the season, Eddie said, for me, the aim is to beat West Ham and see where we go after that. I haven't set a target because I don't think they help us. It's very much game by game and see where it takes us. Now, I don't believe for 1 minute that Eddie won't have in the back of his mind, possibility of Champions League football here in my first full season, which would be incredible and an absolutely unbelievable achievement, even to get Europe from where we've come from. So I think that'll be in the back of his mind. But I understand what he's saying there as well about, not setting a target. Just take each game as it comes. Concentrate on getting 3 points tomorrow. Concentrate on getting some points at Brentford and then moving on again. We just take it game by game. And then, of course, the league table will take care of itself. He knows in his own mind that, as we do as fans, that it's in our own hands now. This is in our own hands to get Champions League football. So, we perform on the pitch, we will get that Champions League football. I think he doesn't need to set a target because the target is simply just to concentrate on each game, getting maximum points, and then, of course, the league table takes care of itself. But I think in the back of his mind, he'll know, without a shadow of a doubt, he'll be having conversations with Jason Tyndall and his backroom staff saying, we could achieve something huge here this season. A cup final and Champions League football in their first season in charge. Jesus Christ. In the first full season in charge, it is incredible and monumental achievement. And finally, on Anthony Gordon, He said he's in a much better place now. He used the international break to get his ankle right. He came back ahead of schedule, so really pleased with that. He's got a brilliant mentality, and I think he's a top player in the making. Now, for me, again, Anthony Gordon will probably be on the bench unless he decides to, shake it up a little bit. But that's the thing he's got he's got a good option now, Eddie Howe. He's got a good option to rotate the side in these 3 games. Anthony Gordon can play on the right. He could rest Jacob Murphy, who's done brilliantly since coming in for Miggy. We've got options there now, and I think Eddie Howe realises that. Certainly for me as a supporter, looking at it, our bench was a lot stronger than we've probably ever had throughout the season. We had Gordon, we had Wilson, Elliot Anderson. It does bode well that we've got players on the bench that can come on and impact a game. And certainly, Joe Linton even, we had players on Sunday that can impact the game and did. Gordon came on, had a brilliant spell. Joe Linton, his normal self. I mean, just fantastic. We'll talk about that obviously in the live show when we've got the match preview. But he's got options, and he's got options to rotate, and I think that bodes well. And obviously in the summer, we know that they're going to build. We know that they're going to want to bring players in. So, it's very, very exciting, guys. It really is for us Newcastle United fans. So there you go. A bit longer extended video today because obviously I wanted to talk about the Manchester United situation and then Eddie Howe's press conference. But let me know down in the comments what you thought. The rivalry with Manchester United, and of course, what Eddie Howe had to say in his press conference. What did you think? Are you excited for the London Stadium tomorrow night? Don't forget, live commentary right here on this channel with myself from the London Stadium. So really looking forward to the game. But I do read all your comments, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you say, certainly about Manchester United. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As usual, please do hit that like button before you leave the video itself. And if you're new, come and be part of this wonderful community. Nearly at 18,000. Hit that subscribe button, completely free. And of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload a video. On tonight's preview show of the West Ham game, we do have a members giveaway and we do have a viewers giveaway as well. So get yourself involved in that. We'll see you at 8 o'clock. But in the meantime, guys, have a fantastic Tuesday. Take care.